match number 3 would see some championship action as the UBW tag team titles would be put on the line. The challengers, one of my favourite tag teams, well, two of my favourite tag teams were going at it. So, the First Class Flyers, the pairing of Kaido and Dersho De Silva, would be taking on Black and Gold, Denzel Mack and Lincoln Spectre, the champions. Now, both of these teams were very well greeted by the fans. And the First Class Flyers would literally start off right on the attack, hitting a double super kick to send Denzel Mack to the outside, and then De Silva would fly. Kaido would then hit a Trouble in Paradise to send Spectre to the outside, and then he'd fly over the top himself. And just the First Class Flyers were all over Black and Gold from the start, gaining a near full. You'd see multiple splashes by the First Class Flyers, including a shooting star splash on Lincoln Spectre for a near fall. You'd see the First Class Flyers then hit a poetry in motion on Lincoln Spectre. Eventually, Black and Gold would get into it with Spectre hitting an enziguri on both members of the First Class Flyers, and then a moonsault to them, which would wipe them out, and everyone would be down apart from Denzel Mack. And Denzel Mack eventually would get in the ring, hitting lariats on both members of the First Class Flyers, followed up by a double lariat on the pair of them. Big man that he is. He'd head up top, he'd hit the double stop and a neck breaker on the pair of them of the First Class Flyers and gain a near fall of his own. Now, at this point, De Silva would get involved. He'd hit a springboard cutter on Lincoln Spectre, and then the First Class Flyers would hit a Hurricane Runner cutter combo on Denzel Mack for a near fall. But Denzel Mack would hit some drop kicks hit a drop kick on De Silva from the top to the outside. Well, they're very impressive at this point. Now, these two teams absolutely went back and forth. You see Black and Gold hit a gory bomb code breaker combo to De Silva. Kaido would hit a super kick to Denzel Mack. Mack would actually hit a 5-star frog splash to Kaido, and you thought it was over at this point. But De Silva would make the save with a swanton bomb to break the count up. Kaido would then hit a Spanish fly. Oh, I love me a Spanish fly, honestly. And Mack would then respond with a Canadian destroyer to Kaido, and all men would be trading off at this point. Honestly, ridiculous. You'd then see the First Class Flyers hit some super kicks, sending Black and Gold to the out. No, sorry, Black and Gold would hit super kicks to First Class Flyers, which would send them out to the outside. Then Mack would fly, and Spectre would hit a springboard corkscrew to the outside. Absolutely thing of beauty. And eventually, this, as with all good things, it had to come to an end. Black and Gold would hit a powerbomb codebreaker combo on Kaido to retain their titles. What an epic championship match this was between these two vastly super tag teams. Honestly, there's not enough superlatives to describe how this match was. These two tag teams pushed each other right to the very limits. The fans were just in awe and amazement throughout. First Class Flyers, love seeing them in action. Kaido and De Silva, they absolutely First Class Flyers. They fly first class every time. Honestly, absolutely fantastic tag team, and they would have been well worth the win if they had come away with the title, but they didn't. They came up short on this one because they came up against another vastly talented tag team in Black and Gold. Mack and Spectre, they just have it going on. These two, they just make waves everywhere they go. They suit each other so well. Their styles complement each other, and just absolutely fantastic, and well worth the victory with that beautiful powerbomb codebreaker combo. These four men just absolutely killed it out there. If you ever get a chance to see any of these four men, whether it be an individual or tag team action, I thoroughly recommend you do so for yourselves.